Welcome or welcome back, whatever it may be. You're listening to the Living Good with Jakeb Livengood podcast. We're living good here. That's the goal. We're talking about all things personal development, entrepreneurial, business development, stuff like that. Today, I want to talk about something that has been a mile marker for me, that has led to me properly structuring my life in a way that I can see. It's smart, it's specific, it's measurable, it's actionable, it's based on a certain time restriction, okay, and it's reasonable, it's prudent, okay? Now, that is the four pillars of the good life. We already did an episode about this, but we're redoing it because I want to really hone this in, okay? The four pillars of the good life: health, wealth, love, happiness, to be achieved in that order based on my understanding. And I will explain why. We'll break each of them down. We'll look at it backwards and why it has to be fulfilled in that order, right? First, forward, health. Okay, you've got to lock your health in. You get one body. Your body is a temple. It's rented, not owned. It is God's creation. You have to show God the beauty of his creation through your diligent, persistent, consistent pursuit of your potential. Work hard. Build your body, craft it like Michelangelo, make yourself into a sculpture like a Greek god. Okay, you owe it to yourself, you owe it to God, you owe it to the people in your immediate circle to show how greatness can look, to be the example, the guiding light of the world, to show others how they can do it too. Okay, health, you got to do it. Wealth, okay, you need to externalize your gifts in the world. Okay, you've got gifts. You were given gifts. God gives each and every single one of us gifts. Some of us have one gift. Some of us have 20 gifts. Okay? And oh, that's not fair. It doesn't matter. Okay? Everybody's got gifts. You need to identify what your gifts are, and you need to utilize those for the betterment of the world. Not doing so is selfish. Not doing so is not living in purpose. Okay? And so when it comes to wealth, using your gifts to create abundance in your lives and the constituents around you. Everybody around you will benefit from you building your gifts into a business. Okay? So you owe it to you, you owe it to God, you owe it to your family. You need to use your gifts to create massive abundance in your life. Love. Okay? Love is a tantalizing, deep pillar, okay? Love, we're not just talking about romantic endeavors. I'm talking about self love. I'm talking about doing the activities that you would do for another person that you love, but then you're too hypercritical on yourself and you're mean to yourself, but you're nice to others, right? You need to start with self love. You need to then take that to your interpersonal relationships, your family. Maybe your family, some members in your family are dealing with narcissistic tendencies. Maybe they're living in their unconscious and they have not yet evolved out of that self-sabotage. They're living in a lower density, a lower vibrational state, and you have to be the bigger person. You have to live in love, walk in authenticity, even when it's hard, even when you're getting projected on by these lower, evil, narcissistic tendencies, and you can't react. You can't let that bring your lower vibration out and then stop acting in your higher self in authenticity and love and retaliate in the same manner, in likeness of kind. No. All right. You got to then externalize that out into your romantic endeavors. Okay. A lot of us have developed, this is why shadow work and the inner trauma and the childhood healing, right? All this stuff, you need to compartmentalize this. You need to figure this out, because think about it. When you were a child, especially if you were raised in a unhealthy dynamic, such as a narcissistic or a people-pleasing relationship endeavor, you didn't get to see what it looks like to have healthy dynamics in a relationship. That was not modeled to you. So before the age of 7, when your body was, you were not in your conscious mind yet, so your subconscious mind was running the show and taking everything. Your reticular activating system's being programmed by everything around it, taking it in, absorbing it like a sponge, and writing the code of your mind, how your operating system will function. Okay, and you took in all these poor habits, patterns, behaviors, and disciplines as a means to keep yourself safe. Okay, you did this. That was necessary in childhood, perhaps, for you, because you grew up in this unhealthy dynamic. Now, you need to unlearn those unhealthy habits to then relearn constructive growth oriented habits. A lot of this reflects in romantic relationships. And so the romantic relationship of the love pillar comes far after everything else. Starts with self love, then it starts with interpersonal relationships, healing your connections with your family, despite unhealed traumas, right? fix those things, fix those dynamics, then you can go seeking that romantic endeavor. Okay. Happiness, the last pillar. Okay. It's interesting, and we'll touch on it, and we'll touch on it right about now. But happiness, you don't really need to like go after it or seek it or achieve it, because it's actually, being that it's the last pillar to be achieved, actually, if you're consciously moving in the other pillars, it'll just like fall into place. Happiness will just show up, okay? Because happiness is fleeting, right? And if you always are seeking attainment of happiness, that's where you get into fleshly stuff. You get into secular things, right? You're living for the world, not for spirit, okay? So you shouldn't seek happiness. I actually substitute the happiness pillar for fulfillment, and that is where I get actual growth. Because here's the thing, right? Happiness, it's fleeting, it's going to go away, it'll come and go, you'll experience it every once in a while. But to seek and make happiness your core definite aim, that is pointless, okay? But fulfillment, finding fulfillment in the consistent, persistent pursuit of your potential, will actually lead to greater resolve and greater results, okay? And so that's why I like to substitute the happiness pillar for fulfillment. But why I say happiness just falls in a line, okay? Look, here's backwards, okay? So those are the 4 pillars. I believe they have to be achieved in that order. And I'm going to break down why I believe that, okay? So happiness, the happiness pillar. Like I said, if you're seeking happiness, that's your North Star. You're going to jump into all sorts of secular stuff. It'd be fun to go to a rave and do some substances and just escape reality and just live it up, party for the weekend. That'd be fun. That'll give me some fleeting high happiness, right? A little bit of serotonin, a little bit of dopamine kicking, firing off. Yes, that's fine. Where's that going to lead you to the beginning of the week? It's going to lead you back to your slave ship, back to your job. You're not happy. Your serotonin reserves are dialed back. Okay, you're a little bit depressy. Okay, and it's just not great. That's fleeting. It's secular. It's living for the world, not for spirit. Okay. Now, if you don't have those other pillars locked in, right? How are you going to have achieved, sustained, consistent happiness if you are obese, you're devastatingly poor and living far beyond your means with crippling debt, and you don't love yourself, you have poor interpersonal relationships, and you do not have a divine union with a significant other, okay? How are you going to find lasting, consistent, persistent happiness or even fulfillment, right? And there is a way to find the fulfillment. It's in the doing of achieving your dreams and visions, stepping into the daily doing of becoming the best version of yourself, no matter where you are at the beginning. As long as you're conscious and you're moving that direction, you can find that fulfillment. Okay, so that's the happiness pillar. All right, the love pillar. How? Okay, you by some divine union of God's grace alone, you get into a relationship, and this person is everything you could have ever hoped for, dreamed for, amazing. Okay, how are you going to actually serve your kingdom spouse if you are morbidly obese, you are devastatingly broke and living beyond your means, you do not have any money, you can't take them out on dates, you can't spoil them, you can't buy them gifts, you're morbidly obese, right? You can't do anything of any physical fitness or prowess, your epigenetics are bad, okay? Say you guys get married, you have a kid, right? Your kid is going to be predisposed to all sorts of genetic dispositions because your epigenetics were terrible, you're morbidly obese, okay? You have bad interpersonal relationships with your family, you haven't healed your own traumas, so you've probably got an anxious attachment or an avoidant attachment. You are not in a secure attachment style. So this relationship, even if they are your kingdom spouse, you are botching it. You're messing it up because you haven't done the inner work and actually solved the other pillars that are predispositions to success in this pillar. Okay? Wealth. Okay? What good? Say you make it. Okay? You've got hundreds of millions of dollars. Let's just say even $1 million. What good is a 7-figure bank account going to serve you if you're morbidly obese, you're in a horrible relationship it's narcissistic, it's toxic, it's perhaps abusive, you have bad interpersonal relationships, you have no connection with your family, okay? You're using substances to try and find a fleeting happiness, a fleeting moment, a glimpse of how happy you used to be in early adulthood. The money's not going to serve you. Okay, it's who cares about the money if everything else is falling and it's botched? Okay, now we get back to the very beginning. Health, the first one. Okay, you've got to unlock health before you unlock everything else, because if you unlock it in that order, think about how it plays out, right? You're obese to start. I was obese to start. Okay. When I got conscious, I became a meaningful, specific, not a wandering generality. I was obese at the start, right? When I said, all right, I'm flipping the switch, I'm going to become something. Okay. I was obese. All right. So it doesn't really matter what the starting place is. Hello, kitty. Hello, kitty cat. Doesn't matter what the starting place is. Okay. But you're obese. You make the change. You start changing what you're feeding yourself. You start going to the gym. You start being conscious. Okay. Now you're going in the right direction. You're progressively realizing that worthy ideal. You're becoming the best version of yourself. You're sculpting out that body, your temple. You're taking care of it. Okay. Now you get a business opportunity. You start your own, say, personal development coaching. Say it's, personal training. Say it's teaching people personal branding. Say it's you're a yoga instructor. Say it's you just have a job in tech sales or anything that you enjoy, and you start building that up. You're being more conscious. You're not spending your money on a bunch of fast food because your health's dialed in. Okay. So you're actually being way more conscious about your finances. You start living below your means, stacking up a little bit of capital to be able to invest with, instead of living beyond your means to make yourself look like you're living a bigger lifestyle than you actually are able to based on your current means, so that you can impress the people around you. Okay. So now you're getting that dialed in. Wealth's going the right direction. Now, when it comes to love, you're loving yourself already. You're already well on the way to the love pillar, because you are treating your body like a temple. You are investing into your future. You're building skill sets. You're building cash flow. You're leveraging the money that you have now to make more money, instead of buying liabilities to make yourself look bigger than you are. You're taking that money, you're living below your means, and you're investing into an investment instrument that is going to pay you dividends and cash flow over time, so that your money starts making money, so that you can depeg your acquisition of capital from time. So now your money makes money instead of just your time making money. And now eventually your 9 to 5 is the side thing, and your 5 to 9, which was your side hustle, begins to get to the point of scale where now it is paying the bills. It is big enough that you can actually leave the 9 to 5 and go all into the dreams and visions. That's self-love. This is giving you more capacity to be able to heal your interpersonal relationships with your family, with yourself, your kingdom spouse. You can take your kingdom spouse out on dates, really nice dates, because you've got the capital to allocate to that. You've been doing the inner work. You've been working on the health, the wealth. You've been working on your mindset, your brain, how much you love yourself. You're taking in and reading information. So you're healing those tendencies and those habits and those behaviors that are not serving you, so you can actually show up more authentically and a better version of yourself for your kingdom spouse. And guess what? You lock those 3 in: health, wealth, love. The happiness pillar, do you think you're going to be just happy just as a subsidiary of everything else happening? Because I can tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt, yes, you will. Yes, you will. Because you're going to look at your dreams and visions, and you're going to go, I am the type of person that does what I say I'm going to do. I have a stack of undeniable proof over the last 7 years. I can look back in my journal and my planner at what I've done in my daily activities, and I know when I say I'm going to do something, I then do that. And that's loving myself. That's execution. I know I'm not a phony. I'm not making up stuff. I'm not trying to impress the world. I am doing this. At some point, I shifted from trying to prove myself to just being just in sheer abundance, gratitude, tears, praying to God every day, thanking God just for the opportunity to try. And that is the vibrational signature of hashtag it's already done, right? And so my life may not look like the dreams and visions I have spelled out today, but I feel it internally. I feel that vibrational frequency inside of me. And so I'm currently in the process of the doing of bridging the gap from where I am now to where I want to be. And that, my friends, is fulfillment. You are happy. Even if you're going through the valley of the shadow of death, you're walking through trials and tribulations, you have a smile on your face because you know that this is necessary for the character development that's going to cause me to be the type of person that can actually hold the blessings that are preordained over my life. So that The happiness pillar, you don't even need to focus on it. It literally falls into alignment as the other things fall into alignment. So what are the action steps? How do we get there from being a wandering generality to a meaningful specific? No matter what your starting place is, how do we get there? How do we start? Well, it starts with health. It starts with getting extremely, like you I don't say be mean to yourself, but you do need to be very, standoffish almost to the fact that, like, all right, look, this is just objectively where we are. Even if it's bad, objectively, this is where I'm at in my life. Okay, I'm fat, I'm broke, I'm dumb, I'm stupid, kind of ugly. Okay, and it's not to be mean to yourself, but just be real objective. Okay, take your feelings out of it. Shut the ego up. All right, figure out where you're at. Get a very keen, direct understanding of where your starting place is, no matter how devastating it may look. And then chip away at it one step, one day at a time, okay? If you're eating out, you're getting fast food once a day, 7 days a week, cut it down to 5. Then cut it down to 3. Then cut it down to 2. Then start cooking, meal prepping your food, right? This doesn't have to be a complete 180 overnight black and white shift, okay? Because that's where people fail. They try to do too much at the same time to completely make a 100% character shift, and then it's just too much for them to sustain over an extended period of time. Then they fall back and regress into old patterns, habits, behaviors, and disciplines, okay? So play this game over a long period of time. You don't want to try and make 100% shift in one category. You want to make 1% shift in 100 categories repeatedly, consistently. Seeing the difference? Okay, so start working on that health. Maybe you're not going to the gym. Maybe start going to the gym once a week. Just get in there. You're socially uncomfortable. I don't know what I'm gonna do in the gym. I don't really know how to work out. People are gonna be judging me. They're gonna know I don't know what I'm doing. All right, well, make the discipline of going to the gym and just going on the treadmill for 5 minutes once a day. Go to the gym every day and go on the treadmill for 5 minutes and then leave. Go in the gym, go on the treadmill, 5 minutes, leave. Guess what's gonna happen? Your subconscious mind's gonna start getting accustomed to it. A week in, you're gonna go, you know what? I'm already here. I did my 5 minutes on the treadmill. Why don't I just go ahead and go lift a couple of weights, huh? And you're gonna slowly build into that habit. All right, get the health dialed in, get the wealth dialed in. Establish your gifts. What are you gifted at? What do you love? What if you could do every single day for the rest of your life and never get paid a cent for it? Would you do with a smile on your face? Do that. Find a way to make that your livelihood. By the way, I teach people how to do that through multiple different business endeavors and building a personal brand. So if you want to book a consultation with me, I'm happy to define that vision for you and help you achieve clarity and acquisitions and make it go that direction. Okay, with your life, I can help you do that. Okay, so you're moving into health, you're moving into wealth, love. All right, here's the thing. Unless you are a well-established individual, well-endowed financially, spiritually, mentally, physically, okay, you don't even need to be thinking about a partner, okay? Ignore it. That whole avenue of life, okay, I'm gonna go find, what if that girl's my wife? What, I want to take that girl on a date. Delete all the dating apps. Okay, stop even thinking about it. Stop talking to people of the opposite sex. Stop. Stop doing it, okay? Don't even think about it. Get self-love dialed in, okay? Start taking yourself out on dates. Go on a date with yourself. Just for no other reason than you want to treat yourself. You want to show yourself what it's like to date someone that's a conscious individual. Go on a date by yourself, okay? Let's not even think about the romantic escapades right now, all right? You're building your dreams and visions into reality. Let's not overcomplicate it. Let's keep it as simple as possible. By the way, when you operate in this model of reality, God will send you your person when the time is right. When the time is right. Through divine orchestration, it will happen without you chasing. You attract, you don't chase. Okay, if you're trying to catch a butterfly, you're going to go grab a net and run around and try and catch that butterfly as it flies away from you? Or are you going to build a beautiful garden? Sit in your garden in absolute sheer peace and abundance, meditating, praying to God, crying gratitude tears because of how beautiful your life and garden is. And then the butterflies are going to fly in and land on you. Okay, what makes more sense? Let's not even think about the romantic escapades until we have everything else dialed in. And then happiness, not fulfillment. I almost said fulfillment. All right, look, happiness, which you can substitute for fulfillment. You know where I find my fulfillment? I find my fulfillment in the daily doing of execution towards my goals, dreams, and visions. That's where I find my happiness and fulfillment. And by the way, I'll be perfectly honest with you, all right? Because not a lot of entrepreneurs talk about this, okay? It's hard. And most days, I'm not even joking, more than 50% of the time, most days, I'm really not happy at all. I'm doing a bunch of clerical work. I'm working really hard, 16 hours a day, doing a bunch of stuff that I otherwise don't really love to do. I don't really love to do what I'm doing, but I keep doing it because I know it's chipping away at the sculpture that is my desires and dreams. So most days I'm not happy and I do it anyways. But at the end of those days that are I don't call them bad days or hard days anymore. I call them character developing days because it is building character. At the end of those days, when I'm journaling and I'm planning and I'm overviewing, highlighting my day, those are the days that actually give me the most personal fulfillment. They are the days that it's easy and I wake up and I'm just super jovial, super high energy, just grateful for life. Everything's fallen into line, vibrational frequencies up, no roadblocks, no trials and tribulations. All right, I get to the end of the day and I'm like, hey God, thank you. That was so awesome. It was a great day. Thank you. Woo. Go to sleep, whatever. The days that it's just really hard and I push through anyways, and that's when I execute the discipline. I'm like, dude, life's not fair. It's really hard. I'm having a hard time. I don't feel good. I'm having this argument with this person. And then I go, no, I'm the type of person that does the things that I say that I'm going to do. And then I execute that willpower over my body and I do it anyways, regardless of being in a low vibrational state and feeling negative. Then at the end of the day, I look at the checklist of my DMOs, my daily methods of operations, and I go, God, I did it. I pushed through even when it was hard. And I once again reaffirmed to myself, I am the type of individual that does the things I say I'm going to do. And those are the days that lead to the most fulfillment. Because I know no matter what trial and tribulation presents itself, I'm going to get through it and I'm going to make it happen. And that means that my dreams, goals, and visions coming into tangible 3D reality is inevitable. In due time, it will come to pass because I will never stop. I will never be fatigued. I'm indefatigable, and it's going to happen. So that's how it starts. The 4 pillars of the good life: health, wealth, love, and happiness. Become a meaningful, specific, not a wandering generality. Structure your life as such that you are progressively realizing a worthy ideal. Define a vision for your life. Get a keen, direct understanding of where you are now and where you want to be headed. And then take one step every single day, no matter how small the step may feel. And over an extended, consistent, disciplined period of time, you will find yourself looking back and going, God, you really did it. Thank you. I'm living the things that I saw in my mind. Have a wonderful, beautiful, blessed day. I love you.